Nowadays, there's so much talk about your diet, what you're putting in your body, what you're feeding yourself, your physical person. And I harp on that so much. I believe nutrition can literally make or break you no matter what your intentions are. It affects your mind, it obviously affects your body, it affects your gut, it affects everything. But I noticed in the process of prioritizing my physical diet that I've failed to prioritize my mental diet. I think that's something that a lot of people can probably relate to. You know exactly what you're putting into your body and you know how it's going to affect you. When you're putting alcohol in your body, you know that you're probably going to end up with a hangover. When you're consistently eating really good nutrient dense foods, you know that you're probably going to be feeling your best. And it's really easy to forget that it works the exact same way with our mental diet. What are you feeding your mind? Are you feeding yourself poison? Or are you feeding yourself good stuff? I mean, are you giving yourself books to read to educate yourself? Or are you spending all day scrolling on your phone, listening to depressing music or uplifting music? Or even just no music at all sometimes can be so good for your soul. Just sit in silence, sit in boredom. A little bit of boredom never hurt anyone. It's so easy to be stimulated nowadays, and I'm sure you've noticed just as much as I have. If you scroll long enough, you're going to find something that makes you feel horrible, and it might make you feel good, but in the long run, it makes you feel horrible. And those thoughts, the emotions that it causes you to feel, it can start to feel like reality. I've had so many times where I'll scroll onto a video and it says something that's supposed to be like relatable, like POV, bro tells you something, you're never going to be able to move on from this girl because she was the love of your life. And sometimes I'll stop and like put myself in a third person perspective, and I'm like, okay, I don't relate to that at all. I'm just reading it, and then my mind thinks, oh, that's me. No, it's literally just some clown that made a video and it happened to pop up on your algorithm. Like, be careful of what you're digesting and what you're putting inside of your brain, because eventually that becomes your thoughts, and your thoughts become your personality, and your personality is you. So if you're constantly indulging in shit posts and brain rot and sad things like core videos, it's going to take a toll on you. And I don't think that there's not a place for it. I think that you can approach it in a healthy way and watch maybe a sad movie and reflect on it, and like it can kind of change your perspective on the world. But if you are constantly feeding into this toxic bullshit that's out there right for you to grab, it's always right here. You can grab it and you can see it in minutes. And I would say pornography would be another one. I know a lot of young guys are struggling with that right now, and I hope you understand the effect that it has on your mind. It seems like it's a harmless thing and everyone does it, but it takes a toll on you in ways that you don't understand right now. I heard this really, really good quote, and it says, the things that we do, how does it go? The things that we do in the darkness eventually come into the light. It's something along the lines of that. Where it's basically, the things that we think that we're going to get away with that no one notices, maybe no one will find out, maybe, but in some way or another, it comes into the light, whether it's with our lack of confidence or our lack of social awareness or whatever it may be. All those little things, they count. They all count. It's like the law of accumulation. Okay, every time you wake up in the morning and you do your workout and you eat the right food for the day and you read your Bible and you meditate, whatever your good stuff, that all counts. It all counts towards you. But it also all counts when you're effing off for the day and you eat a bag of chips and you talk poorly about someone or gossip. You know, all of this counts. It's the good and the bad counts just as much. It all counts. The difference between someone who's going to make it and someone who's not is that this weighs a lot more than this, right? The crap is outweighed by the good stuff. A lot of times people are just fighting this battle back and forth and back and forth. The only way you win that battle is to just keep going, because your will eventually is going to beat this. The only way that this happens, all the crap takes over, is when you quit. So literally keep going, be aware of where you're at on this scale, and you're not gonna quit if you keep going. That is the only way that you quit. The only difference between quitters or losers and winners is that the losers quit. I've failed, messed up so many times, but I put my mind to it and decided I'm not going to stop. I'm going to keep going. And that's why I'm finally starting to get this. I'm here. Okay, I'm leaning towards this side. I'm not perfect. There's days where I'm like rocking the boat, but I'm getting here. And I think a big part of that started when I decided to be conscious of what's in my mental diet, because the music that I'm listening to, the things that are popping up on my phone that I'm paying attention to, all of that is adding up, and it's in my head, you know? So you just got to block it out sometimes. Don't listen to the music. Scroll right past the bad stuff. Sometimes hold down on it and say not interested, and you're going to see way less of it. But be aware of what is in your mental diet. It takes a toll on you. Love you guys.